let's talk about the right hand, the strumming and so forth. The things you do to make the guitar make noise through the sound hole, amplified through the echoey, hollowed body. And these strings vibrate and create that sound. So with your right hand, if you're a right-handed guitarist, you know, there's several ways of playing, and I tend to play without a plectrum or pick. I tend to very often just play with my hand because, well, it's handy. I can just sort of get to it, and you know, you can start like doing the basic thing where you learn the thumb strums and start moving that up and down for double time and getting other kind of rhythms in, and you can't do anything wrong. There's nothing you can do wrong. There's almost like a drum beat quality to rhythm guitar. Even if you skip a step and you do it differently, that's fine. You're just mutating the rhythm. Okay? Give yourself permission to do all of that. That's fine. You can do what I do, my signature way of playing, which is probably wrecking my hand, but hey, I've done it for years, so there we are, is I literally just play with my fingernails straight down, and I sort of just, you know, use the edge of my fingernails. And no, they haven't worn out yet. You do get sort of grazes on them and stuff. But I get this kind of a bit of a deader sound by using my fingers. And when you're playing single notes, you know, you can even use the thumb and pick it all out like that. But see that switch in between that A and that G with those last three fingers is just way easier. Okay, so that's that, using the, you know, the nails idea there. The other thing you can do is finger picking, which is a bit more advanced and really needs its own thing, but just be aware that you can do stuff like this. That's the thing. And then of course you can strum with and of course play single notes with one of these. This is a plectrum or a pick. They can be made of different materials, plastic or tortoise shell or whatever, you know, and you hold it securely. Very often the manuals will show you to bring in like 3 fingers and this sort of thing. Get your thumb securing it around about there, so that it's not, you don't have too little, like a little spike like sticking up. You need enough to play with, and then just make sure somehow that it's secured with your fingers. Basically, you can like wrap a finger over and just keep the pointy part pointing at your guitar. And I'll tend to just play like that, really. Oh, where is it? Like that side. So I'll tend to just use the other finger and just have enough. And it's, you know, you can pick notes out, and you can pick up with the plectrum or down with the plectrum. Or if you want to pick even faster, rather than having to go down, 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 or up, 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 you could alternate. So down, up, down, up. So that's, you know, alternating picking. So those are all things you can work on. It's more of a kind of lead guitarist-y kind of technique, but it's, you know, it's great tools to put in your kit. I'm not a particularly clever lead guitarist, you know, I'm a rhythmy guy. It's kind of how I write chords and melody, and that's how I punch forward. That's my signature. That's just my approach to guitar. And see, your approach to guitar will be partly personal, because very often I'm not even holding one of these things. But remember how I said it was a deader sound when I use my fingers? Can you hear that? Whereas if I use the plectrum and do it, what's the sound difference to your ears? I'll do it again. This one's what more? It's quieter, flatter. So I don't mean flatter as in the note, but like a generally deader sound, right? This one, louder, a bit more attack. You really get the ring of the trebly notes more. They aren't all like squashed in one's kind of flow like with the fingers. And you've also got that kind of quality going on, so you can actually hear the strings being strummed. So that's kind of part of a percussive element that's added when you're using the plec, right? Can you actually hear the plectrum? Just start really basic. Down, 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 down. Stuff like that, right? If you're going to use any strumming, you don't need to be jumping into what I just did there. You know, up, down, up. Just, that's fine. You know, down and up will serve you for a whole long time, and you can get that faster, for example. Last three fingers playing that A, and what that lets me do is just naturally, see, I'm hovering my thumb up there. I know we're not quite talking about the A or anything here, but I'm actually just securing that E string and deadening it slightly by putting my thumb there so it won't accidentally ring, because we don't want it on an A. So if I do hit it, it'll be that, and you won't get the quality of it ringing out. Because the plectrum to me has always been a bit more sort of imprecise compared to my fingers. I feel a bit more accurate with just my fingernails, with that scratching down the strings kind of thing. I know, for instance, that Paul McCartney, when he does his finger picking thing, he does this weird sort of thing like that, where he plays a bit like with Blackbird, and then he sort of just plays like that with that finger, with that sort of, it's that effect basically, where the index finger of your right hand is doing that. But you know, you of course you wouldn't do a whole strum like that. It's just in between, bom dabba 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 bom dabba dabba dabba, like that, you see. So yeah, right hand considerations is what I would say here, and there isn't really a wrong answer. Try stuff, see what's comfortable with you. You'll probably, you know, veer towards one more than the other, but then, you know, you can try the other stuff out. We can come back to finger picking at another time more properly, because it's a bit of a harder thing to take on. There's some principles going forward, some formula to kind of roughly where you put your fingers and how they behave. Just downs, or down, up, and can you hear there's a general sound difference between when you go down and when you go up, and that would make sense because it's about what strings are being hit first. So so that's really, really subtle and fast when you're going. But they are actually distinctively two voices. Is one voice and is another voice. And it makes up, you know, your strumming. And these things are called strumming patterns, where you can come up with like make stuff up, you know, whatever. It's yours. It's your instrument to do with as you will. It's a creative instrument, or you can approach it from as a full-on musical instrument and learn classics that already exist. I didn't do that so much, you know. Every time I pick up an instrument, I just start writing songs on it. But you know, you're you and I'm me, and that's great. And you do you. See you at the next one.